glad it's over, and I mean, how much of a what did you see through the course of August that would make you optimistic for the secondary this year?
Really just seeing how everybody came together this fall camp, just seeing a lot of the guys bond together and take that extra time out of their day to meet and make sure everything is going and everything's on the right page. Like a lot of the transfers coming in really showed a lot of the guys that's been here last year that they want to learn this defense and learn it at a fast pace. So just seeing those guys come in and get the extra work in so they can be on the same page as everybody else.
Coach Bateman said that you'll put your foot on the gas and kind of let them know down this preseason. Mm-hmm. What do you think you've been able to show? What improvements have you made?
Really just leadership, like me being my last year, I really want to just give it my all and just go out 110%. I want to give my all for the guys that are here and show them like the standard that we should play at. So just being at the level, playing at the level I want to play at for the next level, and then doing what I need to do to get there.
Is there anything you feel like this defense or the secondary is still trying to fine-tune as the season's approaching?
It's always things you need to improve on, like a little communication on the back end and just making sure everybody's on the same page. That's the only thing we really need to do. Everybody just got to make sure we're all on the same page, and when we're on the same page, we're going to play at 100% speed. So we just got to make sure we're doing that correct.
Guys like Casey and Mario and ABR, all those guys kind of pushed you differently than maybe you were pushed last offseason.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. Like Casey, as a shorter receiver he's quick, he's twitchy, and he has the speed to take the top off. Like having Mario in the slot when he has the two-way goes, and he can do a lot of that stuff pretty well. And then you got Ashton as a burner, like he's taking the top off. Like I think he's a 22, 23 mile per hour guy, so that's real dangerous. So yeah.
Would you rather have to cover a big receiver or maybe a smaller guy that's like shit twitchy?
I'd rather cover a big receiver. You know what I'm saying? Those big receivers, it takes them a little time to get into their route and then get off the release. So that's what's easier for me. But with the little guys, you really just got to be patient. When you get a little receiver, they want to do all the stuff at the line. You just got to be patient and take your time with them. So yeah.
At SEC Media Days, the three of you that were there said it's personal. Mm-hmm. So how have you seen the entire team since coming to camp kind of take on that persona?
Everybody wants to win. That's the main thing. Like I'm tired. Everybody's tired of seeing us saying we're going to be an 8-4 team and stuff like that. So it's really disrespectful, and everybody's taking that on the heart. So everybody's coming out here every day, working hard, and just trying to be the greatest team we can be, and then change the history of Texas A&M football.
How do you feel like that's gone so far?
It's been going positive. Everybody's moving in a positive direction with it. And, we have our ups and downs on certain days. We're human, but our goal is to come out every day and execute and play 4 quarters of football. So that's what we've been doing.
So what would you consider a good season for Texas A&M?
SEC championship and the national championship. That's a good season.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What was your biggest takeaway from your first year here?
My biggest takeaway is really just getting the speed of how the SEC football is played at. Being at the Big 12, it's a little slower. You got a lot of 12 personnel teams, a lot of tight ends in there, a lot of run fits. But being at the SEC level, they can do it all. Like the tight ends are fast, the O-linemen, they get to their stunts fast and everything. So just really that transition of the speed, that's all it is.
Just over a week out from the first game. Have you guys started game planning for UTSA yet?
Yeah, we've been game planning. A lot of the guys on the team been going out their way and getting extra film in before the coaches even brought it up to the players. It's real important to us to come out here and win our first game and put on a show for everybody.
What's stood out to you about them on tape and kind of their offense?
Their offense is good. They bring a lot of their guys back. Offense. They got a good tight end, a good running back. So that's their top players on their team. We just got to look out for those guys and just play. But at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do. So they got to come here and play us. So as long as we play to our level and make them have to play to us, we're going to be fine.
Preseason, the rear view, like you said, a week out from game time. What's the messaging between the players in that locker room as you get ready for the season?
Just finish. Play 4 quarters worth of football. I feel like we play 4 quarters worth of football, and nobody in the SEC can stop us. Nobody can do anything with us. So that's our goal.
Do you have a good feel for how good this team is?
Yeah, I have a good feel. Yeah, our offense is very, very explosive. Defense, we got a lot of vet guys coming back. It's just waiting on the first game so we can show everybody.
After losing Tyreek last year, kind of changed up the scheme on the back end. He was so good as a zone cover guy that it kind of changed what y'all had to do.
Yeah.
Did you feel like everything changed kind of for the worse after that? And having him back, does that make it just so much easier and better for you guys?
Losing Tyreek was hard. Just seeing him go down at practice that day before the Florida game, that was real hard, But having him back, it just shows the depth in the secondary that we have. We can go a lot of man and not worry about the nickel position because we got Tyreek back, And then our back-end guys, just as Bravion Rogers and then Jordan Shaw, they're really good players too. They're good pieces. So just having those players fill in and having Tyreek back is just great to have.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, but how much do you feel like when you're prepping for this week one opponent that you're kind of balancing, okay, this is what they do, but here's what we have to focus on?
We really don't, we focus on that team because, you always got to focus on that team. But it's the main focus is we do what we're supposed to do, we're going to be just fine. I feel like if we're just worried about playing at their level and having to do what they have to do, then we're going to have problems. Like y'all saw the Bowling Green game. We was a way better team than Bowling Green. It was a tough game. And then previous years before I was even here, even playing down to App State, stuff like that. All we got to do is just play at our level and we're going to be just fine.
Bateman was saying the other day that Dezmon Ricks has been one of the shining stars at camp.
Yeah.
Just what have you seen from his play that maybe warranted a comment like that?
Yeah, that's my dog. Just him. You could see from him last year, he got a chip on his shoulder. I feel like him. He feel like he's left out in the conversation of top cornerbacks in this league, and he's really showing everybody that he's really one of those players that can go out there and ball with the best. So he's my dog for sure, and he's been stepping up this summer.
When you had such a good season last year, second team All SEC. What does the next level kind of look like for you that you think you can do this year?
Next level is Jim Thorpe. They left me off that list, and I feel disrespected. I feel like it doesn't make sense because it's politics at the end of the day, but I don't see how I can be the best defensive player watch list and not be on the Jim Thorpe watch list. But at the end of the day, it's their opinion, and that's their opinion. So I'm going to go out there and show them what I'm supposed to do and show them I'm the best cornerback in college football.
When you found out that you were left off that list, do you remember where you were and just kind of what your reaction is?
Yeah, I was in the locker room actually. I was sitting down with York, and then York actually showed me the whole list of the watch list of the Jim Thorpe, and he was like, he wasn't on there. And ever since then, it just kept a little fire in my heart, So that's my that's a little the chip on my shoulder for the season for sure.